there are tons of side hustles that you really can do. So I took my salary from working in HR at $12 per hour to now I make a comfortable 6 figures at my full-time job plus my YouTube money. Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Heyyy HR, and I want to tell y'all all about side hustles I did as I built my career to the point where I could just depend on my full-time paycheck. When I first started my career, I had previously been working in government contracting as a tech writer. I was making roughly $40,000 per year. That's about $20 an hour, and I was working full-time. I got laid off from that job. I didn't work for 6 months. Definitely some hard times. If you're new to HR, then you haven't heard about it before. But if you've already been around HR for a while, then you already know about those struggles. If you're on my email list, then I talk about them all the time. During that time, obviously, I needed to make ends meet. I was already doing side hustles before. I took it up a notch when I wasn't working. And then I started my human resources career, and I started in a part-time capacity making $12.63 per hour for 20 hours per week. As I continued to grow my career, I went from making $12 and some change to making like $15, $16 an hour to making like roughly $20 an hour, and continued to grow. And it was some time in there that I still needed to make ends meet. It was difficult if I had a car repair, if I had to do an emergency trip for family. There were different things that came up, and sis was in a bind financially. On top of all of that, I've constantly seen my mother work her entire life, working 2 to 3 jobs, like majority of my life. So picking up a second job was not new to me. In some instances, I pick up a third one. Right now, I'm still doing multiple. Now I'm doing it because I want to, not because I need to. I want to share with you some of the side hustles I did as an HR professional as I grew my career to the point where I'm making 6 figures. If you want to know all about that, then definitely keep watching. So one side hustle I started in college was babysitting. Back in the day, I was in college. I started college 2001. And back in the day, we used to have an online system called SitterCity.com. I would go on SitterCity, make me a profile, and on that profile say how much I charge per hour, how many kids I'm willing to watch, how far I'm willing to drive. I used to pick up nothing but babysitting, primarily from SitterCity. Great thing about it is I do a great job at one babysitting job, and then they'd tell their neighbor, their friend, their co-worker, so I'd pick up by referral as well. But primarily SitterCity was like my prime resource, because not only would they come and look for me, I could go and look for other babysitting opportunities. So I did that for quite some time. It got to the point where I didn't need SitterCity and I was just doing it myself. SitterCity was something that I would wholeheartedly like set my weekends around. I'm going to babysit this weekend. I'm going to babysit on this holiday. I would take my daughter with me and we would babysit together. I can't tell you how many times my daughter has gone with me while I babysit. So many different families, they like that because now their kid had somebody to play with, or it showed that I was really a good mom, or that I am a mom and that I could do it. So babysitting was one of my side hustles. Another side hustle that I did was I wrote resumes and cover letters, wrote them nonstop. I found people really liked it, so I started doing like military ones. So I would charge initially when I started doing resumes and cover letters, I would charge like $25 or $50. I worked that up because then I started charging like $50. Then I started charging $100. For military, I started charging them $100 out the gate. Then I went to like $150. These days, the times have changed. Just got way too much experience for even $150. So I hate writing resumes. I'm an HR professional. I hate writing resumes, man. I just get so annoyed with the back and forth. If I know everything, I'll knock it out. Like if it's a family, a friend, somebody like that, I found myself doing those and being open to those more because I can easily just find out from you what I need to find out from you. But from strangers, the back and forth of trying to get all the information was just too much. They give me itty bitty stuff and think that it's going to hit off. It really gave me some good experience, not only for now, which I feel like my career gave me more experience than anything, but my cousin also works in recruitment, and me and him have done opportunities where we've done job fairs for different companies that we've worked for, and we create resumes on the spot. And so it really helped us in the rural communities to help those folks not only get a career opportunity, but also to get a fresh resume. And so the next thing that I did was I helped high school and college students with their assignment. It wasn't necessarily tutoring, so I probably shouldn't talk about this, but it was like, okay, you got an online class, you need some help with this. I'd log in or get on the phone and walk them through that assignment, help them in different areas with that. I never did math. Math is not my thing. but I help a lot of folks. And those prices really varied based on the assignment, based on the person, depending on what they needed, because mainly my focus was writing papers. Some people would come with all the research for their papers. They'd come with what their paper requirements were. If it was like MLA or APA format, they'd come with all of that information already ready. Some people needed me to do the research. They needed me to do the formatting. They needed me to, it was a lot. So the prices definitely varied. I could tell you what I charged, but that wasn't a side hustle I should have been doing. So let's not go into too much detail there. But another legal side hustle that I did, and another one was legal too. It didn't have good integrity. But I was a legal guardian for 8 different wards of the court. I started working anywhere from like $13 an hour, and then I went up to like $17 an hour. I did that for about 4 or 5 years because I initially started when I had lost my job and I was like, okay, I can't sit in the house every day. I started volunteering as a guardian ad litem for kids who may have been displaced. DSS may have been looking to displace them from home. So I did a lot of volunteering with that. I loved it. It pulled at my heartstrings, but it was very taxing on me because like I didn't have a job and I had to travel all over the place. But it kind of got me ready to be a legal guardian. An attorney friend of mine really turned me on to being a legal guardian. And the plan was that I would get the training with this company where they would do all of the legwork of going to probate court, getting everything finalized, and then I'm just doing the maintenance, checking in of that ward or maintaining different phone calls or doing the different authorizations for them. Later, it was supposed to be where I worked for his law firm and took on the entire case, and he would do like the probate court part. Or we were still trying to work out what that would look like. But that was supposed to change from me making $13 to $17 an hour to me making $75 to $150 per hour. That other part never worked out. I got into HR and I was just like, okay, yeah, I can't keep doing this. Plus, it really is like a lifetime commitment. Like these wards are defined by the court as wards of the court. So I was like, I can't keep committing being a single mom and all of the other stuff because it'll ebb and flow too. So there may be times that I could just do like my check-in. So like every other weekend, I would just get in a car and go from ward to ward, or I would alternate which weekends I went to different wards. But there were different like requirements. If they went into the hospital, I had to see them every day. So I couldn't just see them on the weekend. If they had procedures, I had to go with them to the procedures. I had to do authorizations for those. If they had repairs to their houses, I had to meet the contractors. I had to sign off on those. I had to give different authorizations. So it really was like, okay, at one point I can just be making money really easy, to one point it felt like damn near a full-time job. So I did that for quite some time. I want to say I did that for about 4 years, on and off for about 8 years, because I took off a little period of time and then went right back into it when I was buying my house and I needed extra money to, not extra money, I needed money to get approved for my house. And so I was like, all right, let me go ahead and dive back into this. So I went back into it, and instead of taking on 8 different wards, I took on like 4 or 5. Now my next side hustle, all of y'all know it, and I really shouldn't even point it out. Didn't realize it was going to be a side hustle when I started it. But my next side hustle that I've done throughout my career is being a YouTuber. Feels so weird saying that. Everything else, I'm like, yeah, this is my life. This is what I do. Babysitting, writing resumes, writing papers, legal guardian. Guardian ad litem is a volunteer opportunity, so I didn't make any money there. But as a YouTuber, now I make money as well. YouTube is a little bit different because it does have requirements. So I was a YouTuber for a year without being paid at all. So it took me a year to meet those requirements. Then when I started YouTube, because YouTube's been changing it lately, it was a requirement to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers before you can apply for monetization. I think that I did a video on how I got to like my first, I don't think I ever did a video on my first YouTube paycheck or anything like that. So YouTube requires that you make $100 that month before they give you a payment. And so though I had gotten monetized in my first year, which I got monetized like right around my anniversary date, December 28th, I got monetized like maybe the 26th or something like that. I had like the 26th until the 31st to make money. I only made like maybe $20, I think, or $40. And so I had to make $100 before they pay me out. So then it went into January and I made over $100 plus the money from December. And so my first paycheck from YouTube was accumulated in January, but YouTube pays you a month after. So YouTube pays you every month on the 21st, the month after you've already accumulated that money. So my very first YouTube paycheck was February 2022, I believe. So around like $120, I think it was, or 140, something like that. And so now, obviously, as my channel grows, as my content gets better, my YouTube checks get better. So that check has definitely increased from $150. That's another side hustle. if y'all just Google like YouTube monetization or how I got paid with YouTube, you will see that there are tons of YouTubers out there that are full-time YouTubers or have became full-time content creators because they make thousands per month. That's not your girl. I'm not there. I love to get there. I'm not there yet. But, you know, on average, I guess I don't mind saying this. Probably by the time I edit this video, I'll decide if I really am going to share this. But from YouTube alone, I make roughly about $500 per month. YouTube has been instrumental though, because I started getting paid from YouTube in February of last year. I started doing free resume reviews in March. And so that money really paid for me to do all of the things I needed to pay for in order to be able to do those resume reviews. So to pay for Zoom, CANVA, all of those different things like that I use to be able to give you guys free resume reviews, YouTube paid for that for me. So I really didn't even take my YouTube money home. Here I am giving it back to y'all. And imagine, for a long time with YouTube, I made about $120, $130 per month. So all of my money that I was making with YouTube went back into my viewers so that I could do resume reviews absolutely for free. But one thing that you guys can do and that I have not done, so I haven't ever done this, but I totally use these folks often, and this would be a great side hustle for anyone, is being an online contractor. So you can go on websites like Fiverr, Upwork, and there are quite a few others, but those are like the popular ones. And you can do editing, you can write ebooks for others, you can do data input, you can edit videos, you can, I mean, there's tons. Like you can do a little bit of everything on Upwork and Fiverr. So you can create a profile there, you can set your own rates, you can see what other people are charging, that type of thing. But there are tons of side hustles that you really can do. So I took my salary from working in HR at $12 per hour to now I make a comfortable 6 figures at my full-time job plus my YouTube money. It really works out. Now I do have overhead costs, tons of expenses I have to pay to, you know, run my business. And you guys don't have to do a channel all about like HR. You can do channels about whatever you want. So do some research. It's a really, really good investment. You don't need a camera to start. You don't need lighting to start. You can use natural light with your phone. You can buy a $20, $30 ring light. I have the links for those in my description box. YouTube is a good little side hustle until you get to that nice, comfortable HR salary. I'm just saying. Anyhow, so I am so happy to share you guys some of my side hustles because I know it's difficult when you're like, Tamika, what salary should I go for? What salary should I aim? And I'm like, get your worth. And then you're like, yeah, but ain't nobody hearing me on that. Well, these are some side hustles that you can do until you can get to the point where you can really get the salary that you need and that you deserve. I want you to know it wasn't easy for me. It was not easy for your girl. Many nights I don't get enough sleep, still do. It's almost became a part of my life now. You guys don't have to be like me. I mean, I've always been a single mom making it happen by myself. If you have a spouse, then luckily you have a partner, you got a roommate, you good. Me, it's always been me, and I like a certain quality of life. And so I was like, listen, this is what I gotta do. And so I wanted to share that with you guys so y'all can use this as your crutch to help you grow your career and get to where you need to be. There are tons of other side hustles you can do. You can do a Google and YouTube to see like what are side hustles I can be doing. Tons of people have channels dedicated to side hustles. They have IG videos dedicated to side hustles. Check those out and dive into them. I just wanted to share with you guys what I did during my career. For those of you who are new, I hope y'all found something helpful from this where you're like, you know what, I think I'm gonna subscribe. So let's talk about some stuff. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for returning. I hope that you found something that's helpful for you too. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys found this video helpful at all, please hit the like button, leave me a comment. All of that helps my channel, like real talk. It really helps my channel. So do that for me. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video.